Voice, man. Nothing trouble. Well, hey, welcome to the StreamYard. Just a minute here. Yeah, there we go. Welcome to the stream, guys. So, you are on Snark Lounge. It is a lovely Sunday night, and tonight we have an awesome show for you guys. We are going to be discussing. Get that off there. We are going to be discussing. What were we discussing? Yeah. So, what brings you to China? What brings you to China? So, we have some great guests tonight. I want to bring them on. First and foremost, my lovely better half, Bunny. Boom.
Hey.
Hi. How you doing tonight?
Good. I forget. Almost.
There you go. You're looking lovely, of course. So, speaking of lovely, we want to bring in a couple of new beautiful faces on the panel we haven't had. Well, kind of for a brief moment we did have last week. Let's welcome in JamaicaFunk. Bam!
I thought you were still playing the theme song. I was jamming along with the.
You are definitely jamming, man. You are definitely jamming there, no doubt. No doubt.
Where'd you find that music? That's funky, man. I like that.
That is funky.
Where'd you find that?
Speaking of funky, I want to also welcome in Kodak. Bam.
Kodak.
Wow.
I remember gaming. So, speaking, I remember gaming. Kodak, you have got yourself a layout there behind you, my friend. What is all that stuff going on back there?
Wow. Make sure his mic is working.
Is your mic working?
Yeah, you sound. I think you're muted. Check. Make sure you're not muted.
He's not muted on my side.
But you can hear him?
I cannot hear him. Nope. So.
No.
Yeah, a couple people say it's not mic. Okay, let's see if you can get that mic working there. So you can see the look. You can see the look on his face. He's like.
The look of. I think with all of that stuff in this room, the expression is like, "Where the hell am I? How did I get in this place? This room is taking over."
Well, we'll give him a moment here. Let's look at a couple of comments while we got you here. We got the funk.
We got the funk.
We got the funk, definitely. So catchy little ditty there. Da-do-do-do, da-da-do-do.
Oh, we got the funk.
There we go. So, did you just drop the F? No, I didn't drop the. I may have mouthed it, but I don't think I actually said it. I don't think so. So, and here we got Hung Tua. Hey, greetings from Melbourne. Hey, greetings from Melbourne, sir. So, Australia, where everyone is technically upside down. That is true. So, mic drop, literally mic drop, not the good kind. So, we'll give Kodak a minute. He's muted there. Let's see if I can. It says your mic is not connected, sir.
Yeah, I see the little cross between.
Yeah, I see a little, little
microphone
thing on his mic there.
Yeah.
So. Try. You might have multiple mics plugged in.
Exactly, that's what I was saying.
Yeah, if you go to the little settings on the right-hand side there, you can click on your mic and you can check and see which mic is plugged in.
Right. You might have to turn the Bluetooth off.
Maybe turn the Bluetooth off. So, or you can just wet your finger and put it in there. No, that's a bad idea. Don't do that. Don't do that. We don't want to do that. So we're gonna go. It says you're unblocked there. Let's see.
Right.
So he's sending me he is sending me a WeChat right now, but I can't answer that WeChat because I'm talking to you beautiful people right now. So all right, let's see. Bunny, can you hear Kodak?
No.
No, I don't think any of us can hear him.
No, I don't think anyone can hear us. So
Yeah.
You might try plugging your headphones directly in and then going to the settings. So SnarkyGuy is in the house. All the mics
Yeah,
So,
these are too many mics. They're conflicting with each other.
They are. The microphones are butting heads. So this is what we want to call a internet kerfuffle.
Absolutely.
Internet kerfuffle, definitely.
Right.
So, all right.
It's kerfuffed up.
It is kerfuffed up. Okay. Well, I hope we will get
that. Was not an F-bomb. That was not an F-bomb.
That was not an F-bomb. We will hopefully Kodak can get that straightened out here as we discuss. So, guys, we're talking about what brings you to China. And before we get talking today, I want to introduce my guest. Let's start with my lovely better half, Bunny. Where are you calling in from today?
I'm calling from Hong Kong again. So what brought me to China obviously is job, because my job, like either China or USA, has to make us like demands that brought me to China, and also moved Snarky to Shanghai as well.
True story.
Yeah.
All right. So I was going to ask everyone about their channel, but Bunny does not yet have a YouTube channel going.
No.
So can we convince you to get a YouTube channel going at some point?
We'll see.
We'll see.
Yeah.
There we go.
I think the cost of maintaining a channel is very high. The time.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Yeah.
So
what is keeping you from creating your own channel? What is the cost? What do you think the cost is?
It's the times and effort that you have to create a video. You have to like really have the passions to put on like video things. Like everyone I know, like all the YouTubers, they will actually focus most of the time, even though they're in the street, they're in the live, they will take video and then come back to a lot of editing. I really, to me, it's so complicated. Right. That's why
it doesn't have to be that way. I mean, remember, it's YouTube. And you just do how you want to do, right? You don't have to stay adhered to the YouTube rules, make a video every 2 videos every week and stuff. It's how you want it to be. If you want to make a video once a month, once every 2 months, you just do the way you do. Don't worry about all that drama. Have fun with it.
Otherwise, I'll be too popular. I will actually get a subscriber from Snarky.
You might.
Actually, Straya says right now he would subscribe. So there's your first subscriber right there.
I'm sure you would.
Oh my God, my husband is not my first subscriber.
Apparently he beat the punch. So what can I say? What can I say? So Kodak, how's that mic situation coming there?
Oh, it's still not working.
Didn't we hear him backstage though? Was his mic on backstage?
I thought we heard him backstage. So ask Kodak how he feels about his stocks going from $2 to $50.
What stocks are those? What's that? Bitcoin? What stock?
It may be.
Actually, Donald Trump actually give the money to Kodak, so they will actually turn themselves into more like a medical related corporation right now.
There we go.
Maybe it's TikTok stock. Stock. Maybe it's that. That's it.
I need everyone in the audience and my guests to do me a favor. Don't tell my wife I'm drinking a Coke tonight, because I promised her I wouldn't be drinking any Coke. So nobody tell my wife, okay?
I'm with you with the 7-Up though. I think 7-Up is also processed by the Coca-Cola company. So
there we go. So nobody tell my wife, and we'll be good, okay?
So when I go back to Shanghai, can you please measure your waist?
Hello?
I think we have some Kodak action.
Nice, dude. And I
Kodak
figured it out.
In the house.
Apologies that it switched the default to the webcam's mic or something silly that doesn't exist anymore. My bad, guys.
There we go. It's okay. Better late than never. Okay, well, you're just in time, sir. So tell us, where are you calling in from today, sir?
So currently, you guys are kind of asking about where I'm at. This is, I'm back in the United States. This is a combination of my collection of nerdy stuff that I accumulated in China and some of the stuff that I had right before. So like a lot of this stuff, even on the States, like I got the Zelda shield, the sword, all that stuff on Taobao. And unfortunately, we had to come back to America for some medical things. My daughter's got kind of a lot of birth defects that she was born with, that she overcame, but they said, you know, when she went through puberty, we'd have to come back to the States for some surgeries. And, you know, the doctor told us it'd be around 14, 15. And she decided to go through puberty when she was 11. So we came back and we got trapped with the coronavirus, and it's been fun. But anyways, yeah, we usually Shenzhen's our base of operations, and that's where we will come back to if they ever allow Americans to travel again. Yeah,
there we go.
We'll have to see what happens. So
I know how that goes. All right. So Jamaica Funk, where are you calling in from today, sir?
I'm from Linan. It's in the Zhejiang province, so it's about 2 hours from Hangzhou. I'm new here, so I'm not sure if it's a part of Hangzhou or if it's next to Hangzhou. But it's a nice city. I'm on campus at Zhejiang Agriculture and Forestry University, where I teach. So I'm on campus.
All right. So, now I want to know what are those little action figures going on behind you there? What's going on?
Yeah,
with those,
I can't hang. You know, I mean, if I had known that Kodak was gonna really go extra on it, you know, I mean, you know. But hey, you know, I have my boys here. I brought the Avengers with me. I have the Hulk over here, and Doctor Strange is there. Here's something, hey, man. I don't know. Hey, do you have anything like this? Here, let me show you this. First of all, I got this in Hong Kong. So this is
Batman.
This is a Batman figure, but I am really like a nerd, and I'm knocking them all over here. But here, I rarely take them out of the boxes.
Oh, nice.
This is my favorite. I grew up with this. I'm a nut for the 1966 Batmobile, you know.
The Adam West special.
Right, exactly. You know, so the Westmobile, and you know, I have Keaton's Batmobile too, which would probably be my second favorite. You know, so yeah, so that's what I have here. You know, Iron Man is over here, and of course, your twin. All right, just don't make sure he doesn't snap his fingers. Okay, so there you go. So that's
there you
what I have in
go.
the back.
Nice.
And of course, my keyboard is back there.
Speaking of Michael Keaton, we're getting way off topic here. I heard he's reprising his role as Batman in the new Flash movie.
I heard something about that too. It's
so
like Flashpoint,
like,
right? Flashpoint
geeking out there,
he's gonna be an old black Batman, you know. So with Flashpoint, they go back in different times and all of that stuff. So
like
there might be more than one
episode.
Batman. Yeah, there might be more than one Batman. So if they can get Keaton with, you know, a couple of other Batmans all at the same time, that would be.
Yeah, well, you know, of course, maybe they can get like a Val Kilmer Batman. You know, he's like
exactly
500 pounds. And he's on dialysis.
What else is he doing? What else is he doing? Right?
I think he lost his jaw, dude. Isn't he like in a wheelchair now or something?
You might be right. You might
I think
be
so.
Right.
That sucks, but
well, I know that Val Kilmer had a job a couple years ago playing the voice of Kit in the reimagined Knight Rider. So. And meanwhile, awesome. my wife she's like, what are you talking about? we're talking about TV shows. TV shows. She's like, old
American TV shows. Old American TV shows.
It's okay.
So
I'll have another episode talking about Cantonese for Hong Kong TV, and you're like, what?
There you go.
Hey, this is YouTube. Nobody will know that.
Oh, here's the comment. This could be the comment of the night right here. Bring back George Clooney and his bat nips.
That would be crazy. You know, technically, George Clooney was probably the best Bruce Wayne. You know, it's just that was a terrible movie. Yeah. You know, but I mean, he would, if that was a good movie, he would have been a great Batman, you know?
Yep.
I agree, yeah.
Schwack. Yes, I love all the automatopoeias here. So, That's a $5 word, automatopoeia, right there.
Yeah, you can tell you're either a comic book fan or an English teacher, right?
I sure am both. True story.
Automatopoeia.
So
Jamaica Funk, I've got a couple to hang with you. So what I would do in China is we'd kind of tour around, and my channel was more about like retro video games culture in China. We threw a retro convention in Hong Kong where we got like that was the first place. I don't know if you guys remember hearing about how Sony and Nintendo teamed up in the 90s to make the PlayStation, and Nintendo backstabbed them. But there was a rumor that there was a prototype out there, the Super Nintendo PlayStation, and we actually were the first people to have that on display after it was discovered in Hong Kong. So kind of my shtick on YouTube, it's not really, we travel around. My son entered the Pokemon Championship. Hong Kong won it. But we like to look at like old 80s, 90s stuff. So I have Thanos and Doctor Strange, but they're from the 90s cartoons because
nice.
I never got past that, I guess. My kids always beg me to buy the new stuff, but I'm too addicted to the old stuff I grew up with, and they always want to open it. I'm like, no.
Right. I was just going to say, those aren't for your kids if they're still in the cart.
Yeah.
Those are definitely for him. No joke.
That's a serious collector right there.
Well,
Kodak, we're gonna have to test your metal here, sir.
Okay.
You're all about gaming. Can you tell us what is the Konami code right now?
BA, up, down, BA, left, right, BA, start, or select start, depending on the game. They have another one, up, down, left, right, AB, start, or AB, select, start. I've got, if you can see in back of this arcade, that's a stack of NES games that just go all the way up, like 5 of them. Then down there's Genesis games. Maybe I can move the camera a little bit. Let's see what it'll show us. Maybe not. Where'd it go?
I'm getting dizzy. There
they are. I don't know if you can see them. Yeah.
No.
Slight nerd. You can see.
Oh.
Is that a game? Did we lost his audio again? Is that a game console behind him?
An arcade. I got Ninja Turtles, the arcade game.
Wow.
Nah.
Nice.
Pretty. We got it for free, actually. Basically, it was mispriced at Walmart when we came back to America for $150. So we bought all of them. We bought 8 of them, and we sold every one of them for $300. So made a ton of money and got one for free. So that was nice.
It still works. It works.
Oh yeah. It's a re-release. So it was released in 2019. It's not the original.
But it's coin operated, right? You put a quarter in and it works?
I wish it was coin operated. You just press a button and it simulates that you put a quarter in it. It says add coin. You don't. I wish I could do that because then I could have my kids' friends pay me tons of money to play it.
Well, you still could put a quarter in. It just depends where you put the quarter in, sir. There you go.
All right.
So, guys, I know we talked about where we're calling from. Jamaica Funk. Tell us a little briefly about your channel, sir.
My channel is basically it's supposed to be a music channel, but since I've been in China, it's morphed into a China vlog channel. So from videos that go back to about 10 years ago, are an archive of my musical performances with as a professional musician with different artists, major artists, and some TV appearances and things like that. And then I kind of stopped, I wasn't really serious about YouTube. It was kind of like Bunny, it's just like, But once I got here, then I decided to start documenting my experiences here. And I'm on and off with it, but, it's lately it's more on than off. And if you want to hear an unbiased, video about, my experiences in China, I don't get into the politics or anything like that. It's just my experiences, and I've been having a good time here. So that's pretty much what the channel reflects, me having a good time here in China.
There you go. I'm all about having the good time. So, so Kodak, tell us a bit about your channel, buddy.
So, like I said, it's called I Remember Gaming, but it's not just video games. We kind of covered, anything to do with retro culture, 80s, 90s pop culture phenomenon. And at first, when we moved to China, I didn't think we'd find anything, but it was nice living so close to Hong Kong. We were able to be a part of the retro.hk conventions, and believe it or not, there is, if you search hard enough in the mainland, there are there's some groups of people that, play Dungeons and Dragons and that collect G.I. Joes. Like, I didn't think I'd ever find anybody over there that even cared about that. But it turns out we found factories that still fake, like they make fake, I guess you call them reproduction G.I. Joes of the, the 80s and 90s, which was pretty crazy, blowing off all the dust because they just been sitting there since, 30 years or whatever. And our channel covers that, different parts. We go around China just trying to find nerdy stuff. And the thing is with China, everything's about what's new. A lot of times in America, you'll see, classic cars driving around and stuff. I don't even think you're allowed to have like a car that's over 15 years old in Shenzhen. Isn't that true? Like, you can't have classic stuff like that. Secondhand's really looked down upon. I know that, I'd always try to buy video game consoles for the kids and stuff secondhand, and it's just people like stuff new. So I almost thought I wouldn't have any luck, but eventually we did, and now we're stuck back in the States. So go figure.
Yeah, it's funny how things work out like that, right?
You guys there?
So right. You know what? I'm putting two and two together now because Kodak,
I lost your guys' audio this time. Oh, there you go.
Oh, okay. Well, Kodak, can you hear me?
Kodak? I hear you now.
Okay, yeah. Because now, after what you were just talking about with your G.I. Joe connection, earlier today, you tagged me in a promotional photo for this show on Facebook, and I didn't know who you were, right? So, and then, but I saw that we have a mutual friend, and I was like, how does he? And it's not Snarky or anybody. It's nobody YouTube related. And did you notice this when you found me on Facebook that we have a mutual friend?
It must have done it automatically, or my wife did it, because I don't remember finding anybody. I just copy pasted and hit go, so I didn't know I found you. That's crazy. So now check this out. This is gonna kind of bug you out. So our mutual Facebook friend is an artist friend of mine from New York named Larry Hama. Oh yeah, he's my hero. He's the guy who authored G.I. Joe.
Exactly.
Larry Hama?
Now Larry Hama. Because I went to art school in the 80s. I went to the School of Visual Arts, and I wanted to draw I wanted to work for Marvel, right? And Larry Hama during that time was the editor for Marvel's Mad Magazine knockoff called was it Crazy?
It's called
it was Crazy. Well, no, Cracked wasn't Marvel. No, it was Crazy. So there were three. There was Mad. There was Cracked, and Marvel had Crazy.
I don't even remember.
Larry Hama,
that's crazy.
Yeah. So Larry Hama was the editor for Crazy, right? So I wanted to go over there because I do caricatures, and I always wanted to work for Marvel, but they always had these old Jewish guys working there. I was like, there's no way I'm gonna. Even though I went up there with my portfolio, and but I knew I wasn't gonna get hired there. But I went to Marvel anyway, right? So Larry Hama looked at my portfolio, and he was very critical about my work at the time, right? But he gave me good suggestions, right? So I went back to school and worked on a new portfolio. And next year, I called Larry Hama up again and said, "My name is Gene Williams. Would you look at my portfolio, please?" And he said, "Didn't I see your stuff already?" I said, "Yes, you did. I'm glad you remember, but I have a completely new portfolio now." So he says, okay, come on up. And he looked at my portfolio again, and he still was very critical about it. I never got hired. and he was making some corrections on my artwork, right? So he took a tracing paper and he went over some of my pencils, and I still, he did some inks for me, right? So he took a brush, and this was one of my drawings, and he gave me some tips about shading and, and using a brush and everything. And I loved it, and I asked him to sign it for me, right?
That's
and he
awesome.
was kind of like, what's the woman to sign that for him, right? I'm tearing his work apart. This guy wants the autograph, right? So he signed it for me, and I still have it, from 1982. Years later, I hooked up with Larry again at some convention or a book signing or something like that, and he remembered me, and he laughed.
Oh, that's awesome.
So that's our mutual friend, Larry Hama, on Facebook.
That's
so
awesome.
You see, it's a small world. It's a small world. See how everything comes together.
That is awesome.
That's such a cool story, man. I look up to Larry Hama. He's quite a character. I followed him. I've talked to him a few times. In fact, I did a video when I was in China that was talking about the history of Sega. And one thing, terrible ability that I have, a talent, is that I can repeat the entire script of G.I. Joe the movie from memory. And I'm a voice actor, and so I'm pretty good at imitating most of the G.I. Joe characters. And I redubbed G.I. Joe the movie to make it kind of a meeting with the high-ups from Sega America and Sega Japan. It was just a silly little thing, but I sent it to Larry Hama, and I gave him like a minute marker. I just wanted him to check it out because I was proud of it. And it's interesting. The guy's really, he's kind of quirky. Apparently you know him better than me, but he said he's never seen an episode of G.I. Joe, so he didn't know how spot on I was. And I'm like, geez, like you created this universe, but he only cares about the comics. He doesn't watch. He doesn't watch any of it. So, but it was cool that he responded to me. I don't know. To me, he's like a superstar. So
he's very accessible on Facebook. If you send him a message, he'll get back to you.
Yeah, as long as you keep like politics off his pages. Right. I've seen him.
He will unfriend you. He will just go every week. He writes a new list of people who he's unfriended.
Yeah. He's always typing about his new scheme to get people to delete him that he doesn't agree with or whatever. So, anyways, that's cool. That's cool.
Kodak, looks like you have another subscriber there, man. Bowen saying, "What's your YouTube channel? I want to subscribe."
Okay, it's youtube.com/C/I Remember Gaming. So, or you can just look up I Remember Gaming.
I Remember Gaming. Will they find you?
Yeah, it'll pop right up. It'll be the first one. It's got like the 80s text on it or something. Subscribe. I think it might have a picture of my merch or something like that. So
your merch.
My merch.
So Haley Rule says, I just put the stream in the background while I play Nintendo Switch. It's not too good to listen to political debates. That's true.
Nice.
So playing a little Nintendo Switch. I almost bought a Nintendo Switch actually last year, and then I thought, well, the only time I'll ever play it will be on the Shanghai Metro, so I didn't end up buying it. So instead, I bought a PlayStation, and there you go. So
yeah.
So Kodak, you're talking about your channel there, but it was interesting that you and Jamaica Funk have a common Facebook friend. Right. Gene, you were mentioning a couple of magazines there. Are you familiar with the Mad Magazine artist, the famous one?
Which one? Like a couple of them were mine. Like Larry Hama is Kodak's god. Those Mad Magazine guys. Jack Davis was one of my heroes.
Yep.
Mort Drucker, who just passed away, was another big one of mine.
Yep.
Sergio Aragones. I met Al Jaffe, who used to do the you remember the back cover would unfold. And, so I met Al Jaffe a few times.
You actually met him.
Yeah, I'm kind of in that New York artist circle, because of SVA and everything. So,
Yep.
I've been very fortunate to have met a lot of my heroes in both music and art. So I just never got to work for any of them. I could meet them, but I never got to work for them.
Well, as I recall, there was one artist in particular who worked for both Mad Magazine and for Cracked Magazine.
Which one is that?
John
Severin. John Severin.
Nope. Different guy.
Oh, okay.
Is it Don Martin?
Oh, Don Martin. I don't remember Don Martin ever doing anything for Marvel.
I don't know.
Don Martin always drew, when he drew feet, the feet would just kind of flap over those big little floppy feet, right?
Yeah.
He might have done some stuff for Crazy with Larry Hama, though, right? As a matter of fact, you might be right.
He did Mad Magazine and Cracked Magazine back in the day.
Right. Okay.
Yes.
Right.
So, and for a while he had his own book, but in any case, so we are way off topic today, guys. And that's
it's a conversation. This is what conversations do. They go.
Yeah, it kind of like a river, just kind of goes,
Jamaica. Let me ask you one final question. Is Chris Claremont part of the artist crowd over there in New York? I can't remember where he was from. The guy who wrote the best X-Men stories of all time.
I believe so. All of those guys are out of New York. That's why I love Marvel Comics, because they put New York in the comics. That's awesome. So I mean, Peter Parker from Queens. I'm from Queens, so he's my favorite of all time. And then when in the movie when they reference Captain America, saying where you from, Brooklyn, Queens, I love that. We freaked out over that. So all of those guys, Neil Adams, I was a student of Will Eisner's, so they all come from New York. That's the clique.
Naturally.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. All right. Well, I want to try to steer us, back on topic here. We're talking about what brings you to China. Now, everybody comes to China for a different reason. Most of you guys are probably familiar with my reason for coming to China was, of course, my family. Pretty much like Joseph in the Bible, I was abducted and taken to a faraway land where they served dumplings and ate with chopsticks. My family, of course, still in Hong Kong. Mom, dad, 4 sisters, and my mom's little yappy little dogs. So there you have it. But I want to go directly to Kodak here. What originally brought you to China, my friend?
Mute.
Uh-oh. Microphone.
Oh, we are back to the internet kerfuffle.
No, it's still out.
Yep, these things happen.
Is that good now?
There it is.
Okay.
Oh, he's back. He's back.
The software keeps trying to do a microphone that doesn't exist. I don't know why. Well, the first time I came to China, actually, I was working at a mortgage telemarketing company for years, and this kid that we actually fired, we ended up seeing him on MySpace on the Great Wall, and I started talking to him. I was the manager of this just little place that we started from 3 people, and we spread all over the planet. We had telemarketers in the Philippines and the Caribbean islands. I opened one in Wuhan later on. Anyways, someone on the call floor told me, dude, I can get you a job in China. And I was like, no, I'm going to ask my buddy. And I guess he held a grudge against me because he didn't want to help me get a job there at all after I fired him. I mean, I don't know why that would piss somebody off. I mean, but anyways, one of the telemarketer guys is like, yeah, dude, call this number. This guy could have you in China in a couple of weeks. And it sounds silly, but I just gone through a breakup and I just wanted a huge change, And the funny thing was at the time I had started dating my now wife, but I was still kind of into my ex, so I just, she's like, where are you going? I'm just like, peace, I'm going to a foreign country. See ya. But anyways, no joke. This guy got me a job and I was teaching English in this tiny village in Hubei province, about 2 hours from Wuhan. And no joke, I was the only foreigner that anyone there had ever seen. Everywhere I went, I'd see old guys stare at me. The cigarette would fall out of their mouth like Ray and Ghostbusters. It just, they look at me like I was an alien. And back then, when I arrived, I was fatter than I am now. and I lost 100 pounds in like 11 months. So by the end of it, there's this big, muscly, tattooed foreigner. I had long hair that was like blonde and black, and I had a little puppy, a little Pekingese Chinese breed that would ride on my shoulder. And people just thought like I was a Halloween costume, like living, I guess. I don't know. But I just loved it. And I made $500 US a month. That was my pay when I first came. And I mean, they paid for my, you know, my living expenses, food, rent, utilities. And so like it was a huge paid decrease, but I felt like, I don't know, I just had more freedom and it was fun. You know, every chance I got, I was up in the mountains, hiking around and riding motorcycles and just having a blast. So anyways, long story short, when I came back, I continued to date my now wife. We ended up getting married, and I always wanted to go back. And I told you before, my daughter had a lot of birth defects when she was born. In fact, she spent the first 3 years of her life in the hospital. Like they didn't think she was going to survive the birth. Like they told my wife, look, prepare yourself because she's not going to survive. Just kind of give you a breakdown. She was born with all of her insides on the outside. Whoa. And they blown out of her chest.
Wow.
And so they had to, when she came out, they thought she wouldn't be alive, and she came out crying, kicking and screaming. So they had to rush her to surgery and put her back together like Legos. So
wow.
And now she's all right. But, you know, my wife always told me, okay, when the doctor approves Kaylin and she doesn't have a trach, she doesn't have a feeding tube, we'll move to China. And, you know, we never thought that actually happened because she was in such a bad spot, but it was like a miracle, dude. She made it. And it was, the doctor told us we could go. And my wife was not stoked at all, but now she can't stop talking about how she can't wait till we get back over there. If China ever allows Americans to go back over there again, you know?
Oh yeah. I'm sure it's a matter of time, dude.
Yeah,
so
hopefully.
How old is your daughter now?
She's 13 now, so she's
wow,
come a long way. Yeah.
So,
and she's walking and functioning and everything. That's amazing. That's a miracle. That is a miracle.
It totally is. I mean, she used to have a trach, a feeding tube. She still doesn't have half of one of her lungs, and she doesn't have all the ribs on her left side. So they moved her heart under her rib cage on the right just for protection. And that's why we had to come back, because when she was like 11 and a half, she was complaining about having pain. And, you know, even we've been to the doctors in San Diego and they don't know what to do with her because it's literally a case. They've only found one other like it. And it was like a translated German journal from like 1903. So Salt Lake City's doctors are literally the only ones that's ever dealt with it because she's the only case. So we had to come back, you know, so.
Wow.
So Jamaica Funk.
I keep pulling my finger.
Let's go right in. So what brings you to China?
Sorry if you guys, I'm not being able to hear you guys for some reason.
Okay, well, you're going in and out. We can hear you though. Yeah. What brought me to China?
What brought you to China?
Delta Flight 372 out of Newark. Nice. I've been waiting all day to drop that one. All right. So I was teaching. I was teaching in New York for about 15 years. I was teaching in a music after-school music program for about 15 years, and you know, it was a great job. And you know, I saw it as an opportunity for me to, you know, move from a piano teacher to director of this amazing music department that we started from the ground up. But instead of that happening, even though we built this program and, you know, these kids were learning music that we were influenced by when we were kids. We had them performing at Juilliard and Carnegie Hall and all of this stuff. It was a great music program. Those are also on my channel too. You can see those kids playing some ridiculously complicated music because they loved it, right? But a new administration came in, and the thing about schools and music is always the first to go. Everybody thinks they know everything about music. So, music teachers teachers don't get respect in school. So music teachers get even less respect. So I could see that the writing was on the walls when this new administration came in and they took over the clubhouse. So I knew that our jobs were probably going to be on the line in a couple of years. So I was really kind of focused on finding teaching jobs out of the country. I was ready to leave, and I was really focused on Japan. So I was on Gaijin Pot pretty much every night, applying for jobs, teaching in Japan because I've been to Japan several times and I like Japan.
Oh yeah.
I really wanted to go back there. But I guess I was a little late with that because the teaching market in Japan was already pretty saturated, and it was really hard to get through there. And I would get really close to, being accepted for some jobs and, I had interviews and everything, and something would always happen. And, you get that stock letter, oh, well, try again next time, And after 4 years, I just said, so anyway, my music gig my music teaching job finally ended. So I was like unemployed for a couple of months, and I was like, okay, I gotta figure something out. This is in 2017. Yeah, or something like that. Okay. And so I just, as a whim, as I'm applying for jobs, I'm unemployed. Something shows up on my screen suggesting apply for work teaching in China, and I've never considered that. China. I've been to Hong Kong once before as a performer, but I never even thought about China. So I filled out this application, and you remember, I was applying for jobs teaching in Japan for 4 years, getting close, but never getting any. Once I hit enter for that China application, within a day,
you're hired.
I had like 3 requests for interviews. I did all the interviews, and within those 3 days, I had 3 requests to come to China, right? And I was like, wow, I was wasting all of this time with Japan, and I could have already been in China, So that's what brought me
how
here.
That happens.
Yeah, but then the real work was, with the paperwork and the going to the embassy back and forth and So that was about 4 or 5 months after they wanted me to come, getting all that paperwork and the documentation done. So, I almost gave up because nobody writes this stuff down. When you're ready to go work in China, nobody tells you all the things, where you have to go. And it's kind of different if you're in the United States. It's a little different in every state and in every city. Yeah. Fortunately, in New York, everything is kind of like situated in the same area. You have the civil court, you have the Secretary of State, you have the China embassy. So I was running around between New York.
All on everything.
Everything has to be authenticated and notarized. And
but that's not the worst though. The worst is when they make you go to the hospital to get your health check.
I forgot that.
You got to put on this little gown, which they don't have one that's snarky size. So my blood is showing out the back, and they like you got to go to all these. Go to room 107, get your blood pressure taken. Go to 105, they got to check your vision. And you go to the next room, and they want to actually do an ultrasound. So they put the goo in my belly, and they're rubbing me down. And of course, you got to make the pregnant joke. And they look at you like everybody's made this joke. And of course, the guy's like, sir, we don't have a sense of humor about you being pregnant. We also don't know what a happy ending is. And I'm like, by your context, I think you do.
That's awesome.
You're right. I forgot about the physical check. You're absolutely right. And then that has to be notarized by the doctor, and then authenticated by the China embassy. It's ridiculous. It is not easy to come here.
The worst is, of course, afterwards, you know, the guy kind of looks at me serious and he's like, "Are you aware, sir, you are overweight?"
Yeah.
No!
You know, you
idea.
can run. Do you know how to run? They would tell me, I'm running. You should run.
Yes. So
Really?
So, Bunny, I know, of course, you were brought up in Hong Kong. When did you first start going into China? I shouldn't ask you what brought you to China because you're already here, but when did you first start going into the mainland?
You mean working in mainland? I guess 2018 after Chinese New Year. But it takes like 4 months to find a job. 4 to 5 months to find a job. And then it took me another 4 months to move in Hong Kong. Oh, sorry, move to China, mainland China, move to Shanghai. My situation is different because I have a startup with my business partner, and then I finished my startup work, so I start to go back to the regular job industry. I look for a job. I contact the agents, and then one of the agents told me, you know what he say? She say, the company, the boss get used to the people who are just playing around in the startup industry for 3 years, 2 to 3 years, and then you guys now think tired of the industry, so you want to come back. You know, the boss are not may not like this kind of people because they don't know when you guys will quit the job and go back to the startup industry. I was like, oh, I guess for your experience, we can get you about 30,000 to 40,000 Hong Kong dollars. Like, what? And I don't like this attitude. They consider us quitting startup is just because we are tired of the environment. They didn't know what actually people in the startup industry, especially you were the co-founder, how much effort you spent on that. It was crazy, and you got no pay, you know. But they think we are just playing. So because I do more internet related, so Hong Kong is comparatively not as many opportunity as compared to China. I mean mainland China. So we start looking for Shanghai, the jobs in Shanghai. So a few of them at the very beginning, they would challenge us because I don't have any mainland background. So you're not from the mainland, you don't have the experience, blah blah blah. Until I finally find a company, they actually the internet company, they do the international hire. They don't consider where you're from as long as you qualify the job. And that one, so I got hired in November, something like that. I mean November, I go through 5 or 4 interviews, I forgot it. I even have to fly to Shanghai to do my final interview, one day, I guess 4 to 5 hours, a few interviews out in one day. And then they hire me, and then they deal with about when I got on board. They finally told me to get on board after CNY. I got hired in November, but I got on board after CNY. It was a long journey between once I start want to go to China or Shanghai until the day I arrive. It's more 8 months. Yeah, 8 months long.
Yeah, I remember we had to ship all our stuff to Shanghai as well. That was a lot of fun. A couple comments I want to get to here. Someone says Japan is nice and safe. Dope fishy there. True story. So Dr. Death is talking about I had to drive 6 hours to the embassy to get my visa. It can be a lot of can be very funky. Yes, the great white snarky is pretty addictive. The great white snarky. Uncle Foreigner had a wonderful comment here. I can't seem to find it in here. So, oh yes, here we go. Who can I slam? I want to slam something. So, who wants to see Uncle Foreigner on the Snark Lounge?
Yeah, we're both from New York. They're also New Yorkers.
Yes.
Really?
Yes, yeah.
So those guys, Emily and Peter, they're great. Mm-hmm. So, we got Mandy. Hi, Mandy. Nice to see you there. So, all right, a couple. Let's see. What was your sippy cup at Retro?
The Great White Snark. I like that. The Great White Snark.
So
we're gonna need a bigger boat.
Kodak, what's in your sippy cup there, buddy?
Oh, I was just saying, my daughter left her Gatorade in here, so I was just confiscating it. I don't know what happened to it if she asks in the morning because I just finished it. Whoops.
There we go. Nice. So, was this Snarky was on Let's Talk China once, but should be more often. So yeah, I was on his show once. I probably need to go back on his show again. All right, guys. So we're talking about what brings you to China. We talked about family, some of you guys for a job, but of course, there's other things that can bring you to China. Maybe a break of the routine. Some people come to China for security, adventures. I even have a couple of friends that have come to China for a girl. Good friend of mine followed a girl here. I guess it happens. So, but once you're in China, I mean, you know, there's so many neat things that you experience. So I want to go to Bunny. Let's start with Bunny. What's something about when you come to China that you didn't expect once you got to China?
I didn't expect.
Something you didn't expect.
Okay, I think I guess something. I know there's a lot of e-payment here. Like you can pay anything, you handle anything on the phone. One thing that's small that I never expect is I really don't have to bring my wallet out now. I just go out like with a phone. That's all.
Oh, that is so. Yeah, I love that. You just take your phone everywhere. You know, QR code, beep. You know, it's a store. You know, when you're, you know, get your package come to you, the fruit lady. So that's so convenient. So, Kodak, what was something that when you got to China that you did not expect?
Well, I just the way that we were brought up to think about China, you know, like the evil communists and a lot of the preconceptions in school that we had about the place. To me, it was just huge eye-opening, not only on China as a country, but in retrospect and reflecting back on the country that I came from, some of the maybe half-truths or lies that I was told. I mean, I'm not talking just politics, just everything about it was completely the opposite. I mean, I imagine people would be in the streets with the dragon thing, you know, and, you know, everyone would still be playing those old instruments. I forgot what it's called, but it was the amount of freedom that I felt that I had, especially living in like a tiny village in China. I mean, when I came to China, I was in my early 20s. I was always in Vegas and stuff, partying. And when I came to China, it was like, wow, I can, you know, drink in public and just all the stupid things that young foreigners think are so awesome about China. But later on, it just, the amount of freedom you have is great, but also the amount of opportunity and the chances that people will give you. You know, of course, a lot of us started with, you know, English teaching or teaching little kids, you know, ABCs or whatever. But, you know, in the end, I was doing voiceover. I was, you know, covering different events, nightclubs. I did like commercials for like a hair company, cryptocurrency company, and it really broadened my horizons to stuff I probably wouldn't even have thought of getting into if I would have stayed stateside. So that was really cool. I just, the people there, you know, a lot of my friends in America, especially now, like ridicule me, like, you still think China's great? You know, I'll get that on my Facebook all the time, and I'm like,
it's really
yeah,
sad.
I definitely do. You know,
it's all of that.
Yeah, it's the people, you know, it's the people. It doesn't, our government sucks. Most governments suck. And I haven't changed my mind. I think the people are welcoming. Like there's some people that we consider family in China that I trust my kids with, I trust my life with, you know, it's just been a really positive experience. And of course we all have negative China stories. You know, I got a bazillion of them, but I feel like the good definitely outweighs the bad. Right. And I feel like I was misled about a lot of things before I came over there. And there's no way to convince my friends back home, really, unless they experience it, you know, because you couldn't have convinced me what I know now unless you drug me and put me in the middle of China and said, look, you know, so.
Yeah, I can relate. That's why I made videos. You know, I mean, I share my videos. I put them on Facebook, on YouTube, and everything. And when the whole COVID thing, you know, was here, and America was pretty much thinking, oh, well, that's just a China problem. You know, and people were trying to, Gene, it's time to get out of there. Leave Japan. Get out of there. It's too dangerous. I'm like, listen, this is we knew it was going to be a pandemic before they knew for some reason, but they were just so blind to, you know, to the reality, and in some sense they're still blind. It's really, when you're outside, you can really see like the, I don't know it's denial, the denial of reality, you know. It's kind of sad, really.
Yeah, that's one thing. I mean, you know, kind of echoing what Kodak was saying. You know, I mean, there's always going to be something you don't like about a place, USA, China, but there's so much good to talk about that why talk about the negative when you can focus on the positive, right? Yeah. So, so Jamaica Funk, we were just talking to you. What is something you didn't expect when you got to China?
Well, you know, before you come to China, you know, you watch a lot of videos on YouTube, and you see those videos of black people in the Forbidden City in Beijing, and a crowd of people comes around them. They start taking pictures and all of this stuff, you know. So when I went, and I actually have a video on my channel going to the Forbidden City, and I'm kind of making a joke, you know, saying, okay, well, hey, black, and I am the only black person there, right? But I'm expecting people to take pictures of me, and you know, I'm like, hello, black person, I'm from America, I'm from New York. Does anybody want to take a picture with
Obama?
And, you know, right, that's another thing, right? They say, oh, well, you're not black, you know, you're Obama black. I didn't know Obama black was a thing.
Oh,
right.
No, I was like, they didn't. No.
So anyway, my coworker
on the play.
I didn't know Obama black was a thing, you know. But yeah, if you're, I guess there's a tone thing, you know. So the darker the berry, you know, they you know,
the juice, right?
I guess, I don't know, but
nice.
So one of my coworkers was with me, you know, and I was joking. I was like, well, I don't seem to be drawing any attention here. It doesn't seem to be a big deal. And she says, oh yeah, we're over all of that stuff, you know. So yeah, you know, but I mean, you know, when I'm, you know, I still get it. Like, you know, when I go to a mall, it's mostly young children, you know. I mean, you know, when we grew up, we learned it's not polite to point, but you know, here you're out there, you get a little bit, right, staring at you, right, and you know, it does make you a little uncomfortable, you know. But I just point right back to them, and you can see they realize that it's not that cool to be stared at and pointed at, you know.
One thing I noticed, I actually helped film some of those episodes, Black in China, with my buddy Kyle, and I lived in, I don't know if you remember, Snarky, when I was working for that oil company that I totally wasn't qualified for, and they gave me a corner office with the like oak desk, and I was so out of my league, but I felt awesome. At that time, my boss rented out an entire building to just foreigners, and a lot of them were African American. There was my best friend Alicia, I think you might have met her. She's Jamaican British, like she's British, but from Jamaica. And we'd go around places, you know, and she spoke perfect Chinese, and people would be talking about her, like, where do you think she's from? You know, oh, I think she's from Africa. And she'd hear it. And she'd like, oh, are you from Japan? You look Japanese. Like, she'd get into it with them because that offended her like really bad. And but the thing is, like, and they'd always want to touch her hair and stuff. So I saw that. But also me walking around my kids, I felt like they were the paparazzi. Just having foreign children, doesn't matter if they're black or white or Mexican or whatever, dude. Everywhere we went, everybody wanted to touch the baby, take photos of my kids. Like on the subway, you'd always see someone sneaking a touch on my daughter's hair. Like, I mean, after a while, you think it's kind of funny at first, but then you're like, dude, leave them alone. But so I'm not saying like I was experiencing racism or anything, but I get how annoying that would be, everyone touching hair and stuff, because they did it to my kids all the time.
Well, unlike me, I'd get people that would, you know, they always woke up and want to, you know, rub the belly. I get that like all the time. But, well, guys, we have absolutely almost universally ignored the topic tonight. Well done. Well done. I'm being absolutely facetious here. But I want to give everyone a final chance to one, tell us one parting thought about why you came to China, why you should come to China, and I also want to hear what you have planned coming out on your channel. I want to start off with Jamaica Funk.
Yeah, I have a trip that I took to Westlake. Since I'm very close to Hangzhou, a lot of people told me, "Oh, Gene, you need to check out Westlake." So we went to Westlake a couple of times, and I took some very nice videos there. Went to some of the Buddhist temples. So just typical tourist China stuff. It's new to me. I guess you see every China YouTuber doing these things, so why not? And then I'll probably do another music. The last video that I did was taking a loop of some traditional Chinese musicians at a park nearby, and I looped it and I played along. I turned it into a jazz rock fusion song. So I'm going to do another one of those because I recorded some other local musicians doing some things. So more music, some things around China. I'm a little late with my videos now. I just didn't feel like doing editing because that's a whole day. It's a whole day of work, and the weather here is so beautiful after all the rain and everything. So when it's not raining, I want to go out, so I get away from the computer. So stay tuned, and you'll get some. Please subscribe, click the like buttons on my videos and all of that stuff. I'm reaching a milestone on my channel, so you can help me out, and I appreciate it. And more cartoons too.
Nice.
I mean, I did tell I just haven't finished this, right? So I do have. So I just need to finish it. I've had this sitting in my book, in my sketchbook, and I need to.
That is very cool. So, all right, let's go to Kodak. I want to hear final thoughts on the topic, and of course, where your channel, what do you have coming out on your channel in the next short time?
All right, so my channel, since I've been back, I've only uploaded 2 videos, but they were epic productions. We got Back to the Future, Time Machine, but instead of a DeLorean, the guy made it out of a Supra, which sounds kind of cringe, but if you check it out, it was actually really cool. And it was supposed to be a 3-part series where we went back in time, and the final episode was supposed to reveal my American collection here, and we were going to do all of our future videos in here, but then the world ended, and the last video we were filming in an arcade, and the arcade's been closed. So what we're doing now is me, my wife even, who hardly ever gets on, and my kids, we've all started a Twitch and a Facebook gaming channel.
Nice.
It's facebook.com/I Remember Gaming, Twitch TV, I Remember Gaming. And we've been doing a lot on that. And once that arcade opens, we're going to release part 3. And then, like I said, I do stuff about old toys. I go into detail kind of about, older video game creators that I have respect for, like, Kenji Ino, Shigeru Miyamoto. I've got some stuff in the pipeline. I'm a big Sega fanboy, so want to cover some more Dreamcast and Sega Saturn history.
Yeah, man, that was my console, the Dreamcast.
Yeah, it's my that's one of my favorites, dude. I have Sega Saturn.
Shenmue.
In fact, let me tell you a story about the real reason I went to China. This sounds silly, but my dad just passed away, and it hit the ball home. When I was a kid, I was kind of a naughty kid who didn't like to listen to his parents. So I got sent to a place called the Utah Boys Ranch. And after that, when I got out, my dad bought me a Dreamcast, and I was just kind of bummed out. And I played Shenmue for the first time, and it just gave me this want to travel. I just wanted to escape. I was now back in high school. And the first game takes place in Japan. Second game, you fly to Hong Kong. And at the end of the second game, you cross the border into mainland. You're on your way to Guilin, China. And this sounds so silly, but it was my favorite game ever. It really inspired me to travel the world and just kind of gave me that wanderlust thing I've never been able to make stop. Even when I was living in Shenzhen, I had so many jobs. One of them was a courier. So people would pay me. It was really boring, but since I did YouTube and in Shenzhen, I was paid to make videos for nightclubs and stuff. So I would take your courier job that was only like $500 US, but they'd pay me to go to Singapore and deliver a document, or they'd pay me to go to Japan. And, you know, so anyways, I never thought they'd release the third game in that Shenmue series because it was the most expensive video game ever made. Until Grand Theft Auto 4 broke the record, and it was the biggest flop. They said every Dreamcast owner would have had to buy 2 copies just for Sega to break even. And so
Wow.
it sounds kind of silly, but when I saw my buddy in China, one of the things that clicked in my mind is, you know, this video game is never going to have a finish to the story. I'm going to go over and make my own ending to the story with my life. I mean, it sounds cheesy, but really that's what it was. And when they announced they were doing Shenmue 3 in China, it's when I worked at that oil company, and like I had this really strict like millionaire boss lady, and I just watched the E3 presentation. They said they're going to do the Kickstarter for Shenmue 3, and I literally was tearing up. And my boss had came in the room, like, and she saw me like crying watching a video game, and she kind of just backed out, like, what is this weird foreigner guy doing? But it changed my life. It sounds silly, but like I got a copy right here by me at all times.
Yeah, I didn't even realize there was a Shenmue 3. I couldn't finish Shenmue 1. But it was a special game. It was a very special game. So
the modern day Dreamcast, choose your own adventure.
No.
Nice. So, Bunny, I wanted to get your final thoughts on this. I know you don't have a channel, but what's your final thoughts on this topic? Well, we kind of avoided the topic most of the hour here, so. But final thoughts, Bunny.
I guess I don't have a channel, but please subscribe to the channel of Kodak, JamaicaFunk, and also my hobby, right? So another thing is actually we would like to invite more people to give us more interesting topic for this like Sunday show. I mean, because right now there's only Snarky and I think about a topic, invite a guest. But if you think there's some topic you want us to talk about and you want different guests to talk about, just like shoot us a topic, and we are open to any topic except for the one starting from P.
Yep.
That's all.
So if you have a suggestion on topic you want to see on the Snark Lounge, leave a comment below in the comments, and we will definitely consider that. As far as coming to China is concerned, guys, you know, it's been pretty cool. Like anything else, there's ups, there's downs, there's ins, there's outs, but like anything else, that's like life, you know. And I have to say it's overwhelmingly been positive for me, obviously. But hey, I want to thank all of my guests for coming on today. Like anything else, always carry a can of sardines. You never know when you may need them. We will see you guys next week. Also, Radio the Artist has a stream going on right now. If you want to pop over to his channel, I told him I'd give him a plug. But play us, JamaicaFunk is gonna play us out here. Nice.
That's
Hey guys, we will see you. We will see you next week on the Snark Lounge. Bye-bye.
Hey, thanks, man. See you guys.
Thanks, everybody. I appreciate it. It was fun.
Bye.
See you next time. Bye.